Hello everyone. This is just a small video that talks about the changes and new updates for the channel. I changed the official name for the channel from Grotesque Dino to a temporary placeholder, which was a Baldwin RF-16 Shark Nose, to the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern Railroad as the new and hopefully permanent official name for this channel. Uh, as you can see, I have three different types of locomotives that represent, the three types of equipment we use: steam, electric, and diesel. And just some updates. I have changed some of the description of my channel that talks about what I do. I had to update it because I no longer do O gauge anymore. All my O gauge is sold and gone. It's a sad thing to know. If anyone wants to know why, it's because MTH went out of business. They decided to close up shop. Mainly, it was Mike Wolf's decision, which I don't blame him. He wanted to retire. He wanted to retire. Um, and you might be wondering, well, really, is that it? And I have to say no. It's also because they're not really making O gauge stuff anymore, which personally I find MTH's O gauge stuff to be much cheaper than the other brands out there. I can't really do Lionel. The most expensive thing I had that was a Lionel T1. If you check my older videos, you'll see there's a Lionel T1 that was a lot more expensive as an O gauge engine than my other O gauge engines, which is understandable because it's a complex design and whatnot. Plus, it's like 20 years old. But if I wanted a brand new one, I would be looking close to $1,000. And to be honest, I don't want to spend that much money for an engine. I think once anything hits around $1,000, I think it's getting a little bit too ridiculous, in my personal opinion. So I got into HO more and more because one, there's just so much more equipment available that you can use and interchange with. O gauge was not really great, I believe, in interchange with like different brands and whatnot because there were two separate systems. And Lionel didn't really work with MTH equipment, but MTH equipment can allow Lionel on there. So if you wanted to choose either or, either had to have both, which is a lot of money, or you can have one system and just have someone to be able to talk with the Lionel locomotives for cheaper, and which did work. But since MTH is not here anymore, I don't see it viable anymore personally. So that's my O gauge story. HO has been expanded. I've really dove into, to use a better term, into Pennsylvania more. I wanted to do New York Central, but there's just not a lot of New York Central that I could really work with besides getting brass models that have to paint black. And I'll be honest, I am not that very deep into customizing my own engines, especially painting and taking apart as much. I have taken apart a Kato diesel before, but that was only once, and that was for training purposes at my club. Eventually, I'd like to learn more as time goes on and take apart other models, such as my E7 that you see before me, and my GG1, and my Bachmann K4. So there'll probably be examples later on. I'll probably do some drivetrain examples to show what's going on inside these models and what to expect and whatnot. I will not be doing stress testing on the stuff when I start doing those videos because these are my models. These are not like models that they give to people to test things. They already probably do that at the factories already, but as a consumer, you don't know everything that goes on, or as a customer, I'd like to preferably call it, you don't know exactly how great the materials are. So that's just something I might be doing in the future. It's not set in stone. I have to get more comfortable with opening up my engines and messing around with things. I have to get a proper cradle to put my locomotives in, and a better way to use my camera as I'm working with my hands to open stuff up, so that the camera can see what I'm doing. There will not be any more changes in terms of the channels already. I will probably be doing some blogs, or I like to call them train talks, about certain things, about what plans I'll be doing for the railroad or something. Currently, nothing about the layout has changed. It's still a huge oval. It's not going to change for, I think, a while still. I'm pretty sure some people have seen looks like a prototype layout thing in the middle of my oval, and that was a project I did in college. It was a safety system that I wanted to come up with to warn people of incoming trains without using horns or bells, but to let them know, there's a train coming at whatever speed, so they can help them calculate, mentally how far the train is probably from their position, and to hopefully make a wiser decision of crossing railroad tracks. Because when you look straight down the track, you can't tell how far a train is coming at speed. You just see a wall coming at you, and you can't really tell that easily unless it's zooming past you. And so yeah, nothing is really changing with the reviews. There will still be more reviews coming. In fact, there'll be a new review coming out today with the E7. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. I'm open to some criticism, to be honest. I don't use scripts or anything. I don't do like advanced, footage meshing together to make transitions to other things. I like to do things in one shot. I think that it gives it that kind of like backstage kind of feel of what's going on. Personally, that's what I think. Some people think it's lazy, and I agree, it is kind of lazy. But it just gives that backstage kind of feel as a one-shot take kind of deal. And you also get to see the flaws in someone. And I feel like the flaws bring out, the person to be more down to earth. I know it's not professional, but it's just something I like to do for the time being. I might change my mind one day, or may not at all. We'll see. There still will be train running sessions, and there will be a lot more club layout operation sessions with the trains running at the layout. Especially other club members' trains you will probably see running on the layout as well. I know there's a lot of ums. That will be a lot more fun, in my opinion, because you get to see a real layout. It's not a layout's never really done, but you'll see a scenic layout that has a lot going on in the background instead of boxcars and other types of freight cars and other junk, just sitting around on a wooden floor. But personally, when you have animals around the house, you want everything on the floor because it'll just tip over. You don't want it on a table, especially if you have a cat. If you have a cat, I hope your cat understands really well not to knock stuff over, especially this kind of stuff where you spend a lot of money on it. And yeah, that sounds like a really expensive accident. That would happen. Anywho, I hope you guys get everything in. If you want, just go back to certain areas on stuff you might have missed. That would help you understand what's going to go on from here on out. Again, the new name is the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern now for this channel. And I feel like it's a fitting name for the channel because that's the name of my fictional railroad that I'll eventually make. Who knows when? I will be adding more stuff, but that's it for now. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.